So in this next video, we're going to create a new document and start looking more at deeper the workspace, the tools, and some of the panels. So again, like in InDesign, we can open up a file or do anything about 3 different ways. So to create a new file, we can either click the Create New button here. We can go up to File and go click New Document. We can see the hotkey there, which in this case is Command N, and I always like to remember is Command N for New. So we can do that in those 3 different ways. So either Create New over here, File, New Document, or Command N. So I'm just going to click it right here. This other pop-up appears, and this gives us lots of different preset options. You can see at the top here, the top menu bar, we have some saved document styles. I don't personally have any saved. We have some common and print sizes. We have some web sizes, so if you are designing something for screen or a mobile device, these are really great presets. It's a fairly new feature in InDesign, which is what I find really beneficial. Print, we're going to be designing a print ad, so you can click on the print tab if you like. And in this case, we have what we have here is the units of increments are in inches now. It's 8.5 by 11. You can, again, 3 different ways to set up units and increments in InDesign. One of them, another way, besides the preferences, is setting them up here. You can also title your file right now. So I'm going to call this Perone Free to Play Ad. Is that? Let me just double check that's what we should call it. Did I tell you what to call it? Did I not? I will change that because I want to be able to see. Oh no, last name, excuse me, free to play ad. I have it right here. Last name, free to play ad. Is that what I have? Free to play ad. Perfect. Okay. Obviously, we can change the orientation if you like. It's up to you what orientation you want for this exercise. So it's totally fine to choose horizontal or vertical. Either way, what I do want you to do though is uncheck facing pages. And when we start doing books, or sorry, we're not going to do books in this. Sorry, we're going to do a brochure. So when we do a brochure, we'll be doing facing pages. Now, you can think of facing pages as literally like when you open a book, you can see that 2 pages face each other. So InDesign obviously allows us to do all different kinds of documents. So facing pages is not what we're doing for this exercise. It's just a single page ad. So I'm going to uncheck facing pages. I am going to click on, I have the margins here. Yes, it's without facing pages. No, I don't have any requirements for margins, but I do ask you to include bleeds. Now, bleeds are a really important thing to always, always, always make sure that you include bleeds. And I'll explain that a little bit later and better when we set up or we actually add some images. But just for just kind of making sure that you do everything properly, I'm going to make sure that we have the proper bleeds in this case. So bleeds are always, make sure you have them all linked so you don't have to do them individually. And if I just click the up button here, it does it. Oh, is that not right? There, that's linked now. So it's an 1/8 of an inch. So if I click on the up, it does it in 1/8 of an inch increments. So that's very handy for us for bleeds because bleeds in this case for a print document are 1/8 of an inch. You can also obviously type 0.125 inches. If you are working in centimeters and you don't know what the conversion is, it's totally fine. If I have this set up as centimeters, InDesign is really, really smart. It will do the conversion and the math for you. And so, for instance, if I don't remember what that is, I don't remember what 1/8 of an inch in centimeters is, it will convert it for you. So I can still put 0.125 inches and it will do the centimeter to inches conversion. So that's super, super handy. You can also do a fraction. So if I have 1/8 for an 1/8 of an inch, it will do the conversion for you. Did I do that one? 1/8 inches. Oops, I did that wrong, I believe. Let's back up again. File, new. Uncheck facing pages, margins and bleeds. 1.125 inch. I have this as inches, right? Regardless, you get the point, I think. So now when I correct, you don't have to worry about anything else right now. We're not going to do margins, or we have the preset here is at 1/2 inch. That's totally fine. We don't have to worry about slugs. Slugs are just kind of this extra area that is kind of old-fashioned now. We don't use those anymore. So don't worry about anything else. So just make sure that you have 8.5 by 11, either horizontal or vertical alignment, or landscape or portrait, they call it here. We uncheck facing pages, and that we have the bleeds at the 1/8 of an inch. So this is what you get. You can now see that when I zoom in here, using my zoom tool, I have that purple line here that denotes that I have a margin, and then I have my red line here that is the bleed line. It's kind of a morbid analogy, but I always think of red, bleed, blood, and then the margin in this case actually has something to do. No, it doesn't actually have something to do. I'm wrong. It's just the margin line is always purple.